Not all virtual assistants are created the same. Some follow instructions while others run the show. Today, I'm going to be breaking down the real difference between a virtual assistant and an executive virtual assistant. Stick around because I'll also share with you how you move from being a virtual assistant to an executive virtual assistant if you're ready for the next level. Hi, I'm AC, an executive virtual assistant based in Nairobi. Over the years, I've worked with CEOs, founders across the globe, and this is what I've learned. The title virtual assistant does not tell the whole story, but the skill set, the mindset, and the value you bring, that is what creates the huge difference with someone who is just there to check off lists and be told what to do and a CEO's right hand. And so let's get into it. The difference between a virtual assistant and an executive virtual assistant. A virtual assistant typically focuses on task-based support. For example, data entry, inbox management, scheduling, social media, posting, or customer service. And their work is often more transactional and repetitive, while an executive virtual assistant works at a strategic level, supporting CEOs, founders, or high level executives. They handle sensitive projects, manage priorities, coordinate teams, and anticipate needs to free up leadership for the decision making of their clients. So think of a virtual assistant as a doer of tasks, while an executive virtual assistant as a right hand of a decision maker. The next thing is the decision making power. A virtual assistant follows detailed instructions and awaits direction. They execute tasks but rarely make independent calls. While an executive virtual assistant can make decisions on behalf of their executives because there's a level of trust, they prioritize tasks and handle issues before they escalate. So, an executive virtual assistant does not wait for the checklist, they create the checklist. Now, the other thing is the client relationship between a virtual assistant and an executive virtual assistant. A virtual assistant is viewed as a service provider. Clients assign tasks and expect delivery within agreed times, while an executive virtual assistant is viewed as a business partner or a strategic ally. They build trust, understands the executive visions, and proactively work to achieve bigger goals together. And this is where trust and confidentiality matter when working with your client as an executive virtual assistant. The executive virtual assistant often has access to private meetings, finances, and confidential things. The other thing is skill set and experience. A virtual assistant requires technical skills like software, tools, and admin tasks, and strong communication, while an executive virtual assistant combines advanced skills like leadership, project management, crisis handling, stakeholder communication, and the ability to manage other team members. So, an executive virtual assistant is like a mini COO who is business smart and also a tech savvy. The other thing is compensation and value. So, virtual assistants usually charge per project or per hour, and rates depend on specific tasks and workload, while an executive virtual assistant commands premium rates. And sometimes they will do retainer packages because their role drives measurable growth, time savings, and strategic outcomes for the clients. So, clients don't hire executive virtual assistants to save money, they hire executive virtual assistants to make money. The other thing is career path and mindset. A VA, often an entry point into the online work world, can grow into specialty roles or eventually become an executive VA, while an executive virtual assistant requires a leadership mindset from day one. Confidence, anticipation, and the ability to run operations without constant guidance. So, every executive virtual assistant may start as a virtual assistant, but not every virtual assistant ends up being an executive virtual assistant because it's a shift in mindset and not just skills. So, if you're a virtual assistant who is thinking of becoming an executive virtual assistant, the first thing is to change the mindset of you just doing tasks for you to get paid and you being the right hand partner for the client that you're supporting. So start by learning their business, start by understanding the ins and outs of their business, start by understanding their vision so that you can be able to support them in their vision. And if you're a CEO thinking of getting yourself an executive virtual assistant, remember they are not just an assistant, they are an extension of your vision. So choose wisely the right partner for your business. And if you need this kind of support, I run a virtual assistant agency by the name Bloom Executive VAs. You can see the details on the screen. You can go to the website. The virtual assistants under my agency understand this better because this is what I talk about on a daily, being a strategic partner for your client. And so if you need this kind of support, just reach out to us and we'll match you to the right executive virtual assistant for you and your business. If you found this video helpful, don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe to this channel for more tips of how you're going to grow your virtual assistant business or how you're also going to grow your business with a virtual assistant. Till next time, bye guys.